Hello and welcome everybody to tonight's fantastic spooky potential dinosaur action. Spooky because it is so scary and fantastic for my Stampede Dinosaurs on Magic the Gathering arena, as it always is, and I got many things to go over. I unfortunately missed a couple days before I had a bit of a break for Easter. Hopefully everybody's Easter was as good as possible, even if it wasn't, the best of the best. We're going to have a good time here, as always. Always a good time. The list always in the description. Link tree to the Discord if you want to join that, if you're up for it. And let me get the background down. I got to resize myself too, just a wee bit. But yeah, very exciting. You can see quite a few changes. But as I was mentioning, and you guys may have seen in the Discord, many of you, and there's a primer too. If you happen to be brand new, don't worry. I'll go over everything. I've done about 750 streams or so. The number of total matches, total games played with dinosaurs over the years, because this is all I play all the time, it's in the tens of thousands. Just yesterday, I played 45 individual matches with this deck, and that's a minimum of 90 games, because each match is at least 2 games, then some games will go to 3, so it's actually, it's likely past 100 individual games just yesterday, and 25 or so today is 25 or so matches, so like 50 games today. Nuts, crazy. So if you think that's possible for one person to do in one day, picture 4 or 5 years of just various dinosaur type decks, then it's not too much of a stretch. But it's not too much of a stretch to say, hey, this is going to continue to be deadly. I gotta make the list up. I'll probably make a picture or something, and I'll bring it maybe right to the left side or your right side, and I'll go over that crazy day, at least yesterday. But a ton of mono red aggro. Is it aggro? This particular way to play dinosaurs is not very good. It's not super hot. I had tweaked for probably about 20 matches or so. Just a ton of red removal, and I never won a single time. I faced aggro probably six times maybe. You can imagine when you play 45 matches in one day, things blur together. But I loved it. I mean, it was an interesting thing to try and do. I'm certainly not going to play 45 matches every day. Kind of wish I could. And want to be terrible. At least 20. 20 is reasonable. 5 matches, certainly. 10 matches, yeah, definitely. When a lot of them are, or some of them are aggro, it's over in a couple minutes. I mean, it still counts, but it's pretty darn fast. However, just more ramp, a little bit more ramp. I've been apprehensive to that because I get flooded, and I did get flooded quite a few times last night, quite painfully. There wasn't a lot of ruthless aggression, but if the tweaks and stuff, if completely changing everything in the sideboard, that was all red removal, brought it in, still had a bunch of big guys, and it just didn't work. But if completely changing the sideboard, bringing your entire sideboard in, still does not easily get you wins against a specific type of deck, might as well forget about it. And because Overlord of the Hauntwoods, that is actually going to help me get wins in the close matches, the deciding ones, mono black demons, Rakdos demons, the ones where I just need one more land, one more forest, that sort of thing. The sideboard, Mad Dad Lab, how's it going? Hopefully you had a happy Easter. Anybody that celebrates Easter, at the very least, hopefully you had a good holidays. But yeah, we'll get into the sideboard. I could see this going for 15 minutes, maybe 20. If you're new, there's going to be lots of juicy tidbits of information that you might not have considered. But just, even though sometimes I could get flooded, Overlord of the Hauntwoods perhaps, maybe, is the best thing to get me ahead in a stable way, because when it enters or attacks, it makes a land. And I can cast it on turn 4, even though it costs 5, making 6, and that's another good thing. Oftentimes, I only have one thing that I could possibly play on turn 4 for 6 mana. When I activate Castle Garenbrig, and I might not have a Carnage Tyrant in my hand, the opponent might hand hate it away, which we'll get into. Mono black, Waste Not, discard, Leyline of Sanctity, packing the heat. But, pardon me. Oh, excuse me 1 second. Pepsi, zero sugar, a cherry. I might have to get myself another one or make some coffee. But yeah, having additional things to play for 6, but 5 or 6 with Castle Garenbrig's accelerated mana. The extra thing to play is a land. Boom, lovely. It advances the plan, but the versatility of this, it's a big creature, which is nice. I could put it on the battlefield with Ghalta, possibly triggering Vaultborn, but you can play it for 3 to get just enough ahead. Perfect. I might need to be just one more ahead to get the Vaultborn Tyrant down. Overlord of the Hauntwoods could be just about anything else that doesn't get me ahead in a stable way. Keep in mind, this could be an artifact, something that taps for mana. It could be a creature that taps for mana, but then probably that creature would die. This, I spend 3, get 1 closer. Oh, over ice, yeah, that would be good. I'm gonna have to think about it. It's my wife's favorite, one of her favorite drinks right now. She was craving it, so I picked it up with Tylenol and stuff. Kids are a little bit under the weather, a little bit of a sore throat for both of them. Not so much for me. Cross the fingers that I stay nice and healthy and then they get better. But even if I lost my voice, I would still unleash
ruthless aggression.
Oh, absolutely ruthless. But going back to Overlord of the Hauntwoods, versatility. Play it on 3 to get 1 closer in the most stable way because it's a land. Of course, the opponent could have land destruction, or, oftentimes, as it has happened with me, you play the Overlord on turn 4 with Castle Garenbrig's mana, and then you're even 1 closer, and Overlords is a creature, so you could attack the next turn to get more. Oh, it's just felt fantastic. However, we do have to compare Overlord of the Hauntwoods to Topiary Stomper and to Ulvenwald Hydra, and likely a couple other things that some of you guys are thinking about right now or later on whenever you're watching. Topiary Stomper, if you're spending it for 3 early on to get a basic land, that is different. You're getting a basic land. You're still not able to block with it. It still might be quite a few turns until you get to 7 lands to attack and block with Topiary. So that's very similar too. You play this for 3 with the impending. By the time you would get to 7 lands is probably pretty similar as to when the impending counter, the final one, goes off of Overlord. So that kind of lines up quite nicely. It definitely thins the deck. But sometimes you might not want to thin the deck. Maybe you feel like potentially wanting to still grab another land. Keeping the chance of that alive. Topiary grabbing a basic land decreases the chances. Whether or not that's an actual point that matters, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, Topiary Stomper. Think about it. You could play Overlord turn 4. You got a creature, a nice big creature, bigger than Topiary. And you make the land that is every type with the everywhere land here. Or you play Topiary on turn 4 and you're only grabbing a basic forest. Usually it would be a basic forest. I think in more scenarios, Overlord of the Hauntwoods feels quite a bit better than Topiary Stomper. I mean, this is not a dinosaur, but that's fine. Plenty of dinos in here. I actually had Regisaur and Palani's moved to the sideboard because I thought maybe I don't need them to get the wins. But with Overlords now, that's actually going to help increase the chances and simply get to Palani's and Regisaur in a little bit better of scenarios. Turn 3, maybe I have, I don't know, let's say Forest, Castle Garenbrig. And then you play Overlords, turn 3, and then you play another Forest on turn 4. But you have 5 lands with the Everywhere card here, and you're able to play the Topiaries, the Palanis, at least getting bodies down, which is quite nice indeed. But just smoothing it out, unlocking the potential of maybe dropping finally Palani's Hatcher before Carnage Tyrant, which would be, well, sometimes that still surprises opponents when Carnage Tyrant happens before this. But the sideboard, I guess we could, go to the sideboard. Leyline of Sanctity. I realize it's not much point to go too much into beating up aggro. Oh, pardon me. I will still, tweak things back and forth, in and out, to take on aggro, but it's so difficult. Now, does a thing target me? Does a deck target me? Now they don't. Covers all decks that would do that. And Leyline of the Void, does it do a graveyard thing? Now it doesn't. All decks that do that, pretty much the best hate for it. Of course, they could bounce it or destroy it, but still, boom, boom. Coverage, all these random things that I did lose. Out of the 45 matches, both of these would have saved me immensely, especially with Leyline of Sanctity. A very painful, a dirty mono black waste knot. I didn't even take him down one game. I hated that. Man, whew. And I've faced waste knot a couple times, which is pretty interesting. Azorius Control this afternoon, which was very, very nice indeed. But this, boom, wide-ranging coverage. And then Hornet Queens, if they got a bunch of flying things, or if they're a little bit more on the mid-range side, poof, a flying swarm of Death Touchers to get the job done. And then Tear Asunder. It's kind of for a Grease Fang, but I guess if I have Leyline of the Void in, I don't need it too much. A Damping Sphere. This was for quite a few opponents that would bring in the Damping Sphere, stopping me from painfully making an explosive amount of mana. Castle Garenbrig only taps for colorless instead. Well, you can tap it for a green, but it stops me. Not fun. However, also with Overlord of the Hauntwoods, if the opponent has a Damping Sphere, I could potentially skip over things. Playing this for 3 on turn 3, and I get a 4th land and a 5th, and I just race them, getting 7 total lands or 8 total lands, kind of going around the painful hate of Damping Sphere. I still get to play the big stuff, and I just need a few more lands to do so. Hello, how's it going? Hopefully all is well with you, DJC. Now, let's see how deadly this can be. Whoopee. Watch be mono red back to back. At the very least, it's going to be a fast matchup. Big man, I think that's... I have a lot of different versions of the deck as I was tweaking the deck, not myself. Yeah. Oh my goodness. That is rough stuff. I imagine perhaps some people had the unfortunate time with that, especially Easter. Who knows? They're eating all kinds of stuff. Wish the best for people. Fast recovery. Always a fast recovery. Oh, the starting hand was rough. Of course, no lands means no keep. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Drink the fluids, not Gatorade. Apparently Gatorade is not great for you. I would say, yeah, don't do Gatorade. Just water, Pedialyte, the stuff for kids. It's kind of syrupy, but apparently it's good. Oh, I know, Gatorade. Propel. I've tried Propel before. Something about Gatorade just... it turns me off, I think. Yeah. Prologue book. Perhaps this opponent is stream sniping. Yeah, you never know. They're looking at their doom and destruction. If they have a Thoughtseize, I don't know if they do, we'll use up Commune, turn it into something that cannot be discarded, which is a land. Now we have 4, and hopefully. Oh, could be Azorius Control. Huh. I do like to see that deserted beach, but it could also be Azorius Lotus Field. It does seem to be a regular Azorius Control. Interesting stuff. We have to look for an opening. I mean, knowing what it is, I probably would have mulliganed one more time. Just to hopefully see a Sunken plus a Castle, possibly a Sylvan Scrying or an Archdruid's Charm. We could draw a Sunken Citadel next turn and things would be pretty much all over. Field of Ruin, though, can't take out anything. Destroys a non-basic land, and we only have forest. If I had played my castle, they potentially would have gotten rid of it, but I didn't because I suspected that there could be land destruction, as there often is with Azorius Control. Fortunately, it looks like it's not the Lotus Field variation, that's never fun. They cast Discontinuity on your turn for 6, and yeah, we gotta wait. We gotta wait. We can't play Castle Garenbrig. Of course, if I drew any other land, I would have played it. But, painful. I've come back to win in other scenarios. Other times face. Oh, there it is. There it is. Of course, Field of Ruin's going to take it out now. Phew. At the very least, we should be playing... well, we might get to play Tyrranax Rex next turn. The opponent doesn't know what we're doing. They might think they can counter what I'm about to do, which is not the case. Oh, you goofed. You goofed. A little bit too late.
You have no power here.
Yeah. Can't take out Castle Garenbrig. I mean, you can, but I got my activation. I got what I wanted. Hopefully no settle the wreckage. Oh boy. Watch him flash in Wandering Emperor. Not be able to use Field of Ruin to take out Castle. You missed the boat, buddy. Pretty sure Field of Ruin will take out Castle, and then they're going to sweep next turn. I won't be able to play anything. Sadly, I don't have a source of red. I could possibly play Carnage Tyrant if I draw land that enters on tap, but yeah, now they are going to sweep. That's not good. Can't do that. Okay, well, I'll go with red. Get that Carnage Tyrant down again. They are untapped if they weren't. I would have tried Vaultborn Tyrant, but they were probably 2 mana. I'm going to stop the thing that they do, but again, they can't. T-Rex, scary against everybody. I lost, unfortunately, to a mono-green opponent using Tyrranax Rex of their own. They cast it simply faster than I cast mine, and I lost. It is that amazing of a creature. I'm sure many of you have used it already, but if you haven't by chance, use Tyrranax Rex, because it wrecks. Maybe they'll play another land, get to 4, another Supreme Verdict, and then die, because Ghalta's going to smoke them. If they tap out at any point, they die. If they haven't taken out that Castle Garenbrig, sweep me. Supreme Verdict, do it. You know you want to. It's well, we're going to see what it is. It could be Settle the Wreckage again, keep in mind. But I'm just not going to play things that could be countered anyways. Then they would use field to take out Castle Garenbrig on the following turn. Make him try and spend some mana to do some things. We might find an interesting opening to get some stuff down. I mean, I might as well try somebody. I'm sure they'll counter this. Maybe not. Huh. Interesting. Maybe they have an expensive counterspell that stops them from using field right now. Good. Now they're forced to use Field of Ruin on their turn, which could buy us some time. Or they might not use field. Keep in mind, they gotta take out Carnage Tyrant with a sweeper. Yeah, field on castle. Let's go. Let's go, sadly. Or will they play something for 4? That would be funny. Oh. Oh my goodness. They must also have a counterspell, you would think. You know what, let's try for Palani's Hatcher. I won't reveal that I have another Castle Garenbrig. If I did, they might take out a Sunken, which I don't want them to do. And it's not like playing another Castle Garenbrig would gain me anything at any point. I don't have anything to spend an extra 1 or an extra 2 on. Of course, I would love Cavern of Souls. Interesting, though. Very interesting. It does make me suspicious. Maybe they don't have... Yeah, they might not have counterspells. Oh, I like a Sylvan Scrying off the top. That is going to be quite nice. But I think there's a chance they could not have counterspells. Nah, you know what? Play the castle. Put a counter on both eggs. They're going to put Sylvan Scrying off the top, which is going to be unfortunate, but maybe they won't. Maybe they won't. This is certainly a head scratcher. I can tell you that much. If only we had Cavern, the one of Cavern of Souls, I think we probably could have gotten it done, but maybe they were holding back the second field until they saw another castle or something like that. It's hard to say. Maybe I draw another Castle Garenbrig, a third one off the top. I'm pretty sure I've only seen 2. Yeah, 2. But they're certainly taking out the second castle, and we still have a source of red, which is quite nice with the Sunken there. Maybe they won't. Okay. You know what? Let's try it. Let's try it. Maybe no more lies. I have an extra 3. Oh, okay. Ooh, interesting. Okay, I like the sounds of this. They're going to have removal for Palani's. They must. Pretty sure. Hopefully we see a Tyrranax Rex. Tyrranax Rex might be the finisher. I can imagine.
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me!
I have to increase the size of that clip. I just realized it's kind of small. Archdruid's Charm. Oh, and a Carnage Tyrant. That does it completely. But it is game 1. Keep in mind, I don't think they're going to have Settle the Wreckage. We'll test the waters, see what they do. Vegas, That sounds pretty good, JDX. Oh, I have no fear. I have no fear. Scorpion, JDX, Mad Dad Lab, DJC, all here. Oh. Oh no. Anyway. Anyway, yes. What a weekend for me as well. Perhaps not quite as crazy over the top intense as you, JDX, but yeah, we got the job done. It does seem like a pretty good matchup for me, Victor. I'm just very appreciative that I'm finally facing something that is more my speed, or just a better matchup. I think it was 9 aggro yesterday, 9 different opponents on aggro. There's a good chance that you could face something like that if you're playing 45 in a single day. But yeah, it was nice, Reese. Definitely over the top. It's hard to keep the lid on. It's hard to sometimes know what could happen because so many different things could happen on both sides. See the Field of Ruin, hold back the castle so they can't destroy it, get one activation, keep up the aggression, draw out an expensive response like a sweeper to take out Carnage or T-Rex, and then you drop Ghalta afterwards with the Cavern that you held back because they have a field. So many things could definitely go through your mind. Perhaps. I know definitely Commander Crane has fantastic success. Almost unbeaten success, I think, in some cases with the traditional, faster, pugnacious hammer skull. Marauding, I think, sometimes. Definitely Regal Imperiosaur, but yeah, I'm going to go back to it, try it at some point. I can't escape this. And yes, DJC, very, very lovely. Lovely forest art. There is a couple forests that do depict a dinosaur, but this one, I gotta say, pretty much the best. And I got the best sleeves too. Actually, I think I have to update them. Huh. Yeah, I might have to update the sleeves. A jumpstart. I got about 20, maybe 20 or 30 of those jumpstart forests just for whenever I play in paper, which is basically, it's not a lot. Definitely not a lot. Yeah, original jumpstart. Man, that was craziness. Plagued by a lot of printing issues. Yes, absolutely, JDX. I think that is a very good point. And I have appreciated. I'm glad you made that point of just having a bunch more forest instead of those tap lands. A lot of those tap lands. This hand, wow. Do I like Overlord? Yeah, so we'll send it to the bottom. Yeah. I gotta send something for a 3 to the bottom. Now this is gonna get very interesting. We got Commune, Sylvan, Archdruids. The chances are we're almost guaranteed to get there, but of course the opponent could have counter spells. They have the Thassa's enchantment thing. Oh, Castle Garenbrig. Well, let's go with this. We draw out a counter spell. We start to get that drawn out to make them feel safe and comfortable. Ooh, I countered a thing. They're not going to have another thing that gets a land, but that's not the case. And now that they've used a counter spell, they might not have any more, so they might not have any reason to hold up mana or to bluff it. I'll take a Cavern. Thanks very much. But what I was saying, they might not have a reason to hold up mana later on if they only have one. So then that might make them use the mana on something. They tap out. Then I know I can go with Archdruid's Charm. But we're getting into the thick of it. It's making my head spin. It might be making your guys' head spin. I know. That was the April Fool's updated rock pet. I think it got even better. I know there is a dinosaur pet, but yeah, let's go with another Sunken. See what Commune gets us. I don't think it's going to draw out a counter spell, but it could if the opponent has a... Oh, they don't. Well, I'll grab T-Rex. Thank you very much. That's what I'm playing next turn. They don't know that I'm about to be able to play it with the Castle Garenbrig, but yeah, I love it. I am JDX. And not just for you, even though I knew you would enjoy it. But we got 4... Oh, pardon me. I drank my pop too fast. We got 4 Leyline of the Void to hose all graveyard strategies. And then the Leyline of Sanctity, if they're going to target me, now they don't. And they probably lose. So all that stuff. Versatile, wide-ranging. It's not like it's one specific deck. It's any deck that does that thing. Yeah, it's pretty good. They got to be scared. What are they going to do? They can't counter what I'm about to play. Do I want to hit them one time with Tyrranax Rex? I think we go for that. We have Archdruid's Charm and now also a Sylvan Scrying. I can simply search for another castle if they get rid of it. If they sweep next turn, I might try Vaultborn Tyrant. But I also might have an opening where they won't be able to counter the Archdruids because they are tapped out. They could play a sweeper for 5, for 4, any number of things. Oh, it's always with the T-Rex flex. There's the field. But keep in mind, do they want to take out Castle Garenbrig or T-Rex? I'm pretty sure Tyrranax Rex is the scarier thing. I could top deck another T-Rex next turn and just win on the spot. But I could also just simply... You know what's the ultimate flex? Victor is not hitting him in the face. Just taking out Teferi. Tef Unfairy. Not taking out Teferi here could potentially have led me to losing, I think. But of course I could have used Archdruids after they tapped out to search for another T-Rex. That sort of thing. You get the idea. But I say we play a Vaultborn now. If they do have a Supreme Verdict, I get the copy from the Vaultborn when they destroy everything. Carnage Tyrant, that's not too bad. So, uncounterable. I can imagine Victor. Definitely. Kind of liking how this is going though. But it's also beat me too, like I was saying. Other people, perhaps a couple other people are catching on that. It's just a general respectable body. It's not like you're doing anything. Ooh. Yeah, before that crazy finish, I guess not so crazy. I was gonna say, Victor, that Tyrranax Rex versus Azorius, it's like good clean magic. We got a deck with lots of sweepers and counter spells, and then play a big thing that's hard to deal with. It feels like it's good, honest magic, you know? Azorius Control can devastate many other decks. I know Azorius Control is not super high in the meta right now, but sweepers, destroy all creatures, could devastate many people. Has devastated many people. Now we got this something to make it even scarier. Oh, I would enjoy that, Victor. 100% Craterhoof Behemoth, which could be something that I did try the Craterhoof Behemoth, but I think if we're comparing Craterhoof to Overlord of the Hauntwoods, which are very completely different things, but let's picture it with the list that is here tonight. We'll get into some more matches, probably. Maybe. I started later than I wanted, but that's all right. Maybe more of a brawl game. But yeah, think about this. How many times, how often do I need Craterhoof Behemoth to win? I think if I'm being honest with myself, Craterhoof Behemoth, it's not like it's needed to get me wins in all these kinds of scenarios. Azorius Control, not needed. Of course, Crater Hoof Behemoth could be a one of. Definitely a one of. But if Ghalta is already dropping and doing deadly things, it's not like I need Ghalta to get +6/+6 and every other creature +6, or elves. Definitely, Victor, I hear Elf Ball. I'm pretty sure people call it Elf Ball. The elves snowballing to make crazy amounts of mana, and elves naturally, lots of tokens, 10 of them. Crater Hoof Behemoth, +11/+11 for everybody. That is, I think that's the classic pairing. Elf Vomit, JDX. Yeah, ooh. Hard to imagine an elf vomiting. But I guess every magical, fantastical creature probably does to some degree. Maybe when they drink the dwarf ale, the elves drinking the dwarf ale, they vomit within 10 minutes, a couple minutes. They just can't stomach it. Elf Ball, yeah. Elf Ball, Crater Hoof Behemoth, natural, perfect fit in this type of dinos. Not so much. But again, going back to Overlord, think about it. Turn 3, I don't have anything to play. I don't have an Archdruid. 3 for Overlord could completely change things. Getting me to 7 on turn 4 if I, draw Castle Garenbrig. 7 on turn 4 to play T-Rex. Or the Overlord could be the Crater Hoof. And then I just don't advance whatsoever. I don't get a little bit closer. I don't get one ahead in the most stable way, which again is a land. I don't know if you puke on your opponent whenever you see it on purpose. Maybe some of the uncards, the unhinged, unglued. They have a couple crazy things. I think you literally have to rip up some of the cards when you're using them. But was that the first? No, that wasn't the. Was that the first match? Oh. Sometimes Azorius Control can go so long. No, that can't have been the first match. 20 minutes? Maybe. I think it could be, possibly, Victor, but yeah, trying my entire sideboard. It was 4 Brotherhood's End, and then the other spots, the other 11 spots were single target instant speed removal, and I just still never won. One match, I should say. It was not fun. So if aggro is so rough, maybe I shouldn't bother. I should perhaps get wins against aggro because of ramping things like Overlords or Overlord of the Hauntwoods. But I get wins because my game plan is more consistent or accelerated. Oh, hard to say. Definitely hard to say. Oh, it could involve creatures with a lower mana cost. I'm definitely going to be trying creatures with. I'm not going to stop and settle on one specific thing, but I mean, aggro is probably always going to be rough, sadly. But this should work out pretty good. At the very least, we get to make 6 next turn with Overlord, thankfully. I like it. Shahrazad. I do remember Shahrazad, yeah. Concessions to be made, I guess, Victor. Not that it has to stay this way all the time. Oh. There's always room for improvement, and there's always time, at least for me, to test stuff. Hopefully it's not bring to light here. Going for Unmoored Ego. What? Who's it going to be? Good old Tybalt. Hopefully it's not Tybalt. The art for Shahrazad. Oh, it was. Well, Tybalt's not that bad. I'm playing Vaultborn next turn. Okay. You know what? We're gonna go with that Sylvan Scrying. We're gonna grab Sunken. have a bunch of mana. Actually, you know what? We're going to go with Commercial District. We're going to see what's on top to make potentially the Ghalta turn even deadlier. I think I like that. I'm hoping they don't go with Thoughtseize. Cross my fingers. But we could be on track for some nice stuff. I guess they did exile the top card, and Palani's Hatcher is rough. But Unmoored Ego, oh boy, rough. Don't name Ghalta Stampede Tyrant, please don't. Or just play Palani's Hatcher. I think they're going Unmoored. Oh, maybe they'll go Unmoored Ego. Good. Yeah, that's what I want. Hopefully I get some good stuff, or they have I was getting worried they had a counterspell. Very, very fortunate there. 4 draws, is that going to be enough to get me a decent amount of gas? It should get me some creature, you can imagine. T-Rex or a Carnage Tyrant. Vanishing Verse, fantastic. I don't get the token for Vaultborn because it wasn't destroyed. It was exiled, sadly. But I still get all those triggers. Ooh. Very nice. And we got Overlord. They got to have a Bring to Light. They got to have some sort of sweeper to get the job done. But Tybalt, Cosmic Imposter. Not great. Not great at all. I think we still have a reasonable chance here. Okay. They do want a sweep. Interesting. Now, is Tybalt going to exile all graveyards? Oh. Might have to try and take it out with T-Rex, perhaps. They might have a counterspell. There's not many counterspells in 5-color Bring to Light, but I know another. It's looking fantastic, but we got to bring the pain, I think, to Tybalt here. At least a little bit of pain. Gonna make that thing into a 5/5. Oh, they're not. Oh, that's weird. Yeah. Maybe test waters. See if they have a counter spell. No More Lies. Oh, like a Palani's Hatcher. Good. Set up for the Ghalta that I got as a replacement. But yeah, I like that. We got Tybalt off of its ultimate. -8 to exile all graveyards and add 3 red. Could have been dead there, but now we're at 28, so it does feel pretty good. Oh, they're gonna tap 4. Huh. And they can... Oh. Interesting. They used up their final loyalty just to get rid of T-Rex. Good. Tybalt's gone. Fine by me. We'll see. We'll see, Victor. If they spend any amount of mana, we've got a decent chance. Maybe they attack with their Phyrexian thing, but they do see Palani's Hatcher, so they know some creature could be coming down. But also keep in mind, this is an artifact creature. Archdruid's Charm could exile it if I honestly want to, which I might. Okay, they got 2 mana. Well, they could have a Leyline, but oh, I like that. Quite a bit. Don't have a counter spell. Don't do it. Oh, they got... Oh, phew. Okay. But I think Leyline Binding is probably coming up. You have to imagine. I would think so. They're going to have removal for Ghalta advantages. There it is. Oh. Whoever would have guessed a Leyline Binding. Or 2. Could be 2. Where there's 1, there's more. But I think this is a decent bit of aggression that could simply get the job done. I got a couple turns left with those eggs. Yeah, I'll trade with it. I think I can possibly use Archdruids to grab a T-Rex and play it in the same turn. Possibly finish off the opponent right then and there. Huh. I mean, they're going to find a sweeper. Or bring to light. That's okay. That's all right. Sunfall is going to be problematic. Ooh, actually, definitely clear. That's not great either. Would be nice to get Ghalta back. Could be kind of hilarious. Oh, okay. T-Rex. Ooh, not T-Rex. Carnage Tyrant it is, I think. Okay, just double checking. I can go with Sylvan Scrying, find a land, play the thing, and still be able to play Carnage T. Probably should be Cavern of Souls, I think. Just to get the counter spell protection nice and set. Just for future, Vaultborn Tyrants or Ghaltas and whatnot. This is like the longer match than Azorius Control, which I guess is not so crazy. A deck with so many sweepers and stuff. Sadly, it looks like they will be dropping their Tyrranax Rex. My Tyrranax Rex. That's no fun. Huh, the Palani's Hatcher. Interesting. I think we might have lost it here. That's rough. Makes me want Back to Nature or something that destroys all artifacts and enchantments, which I was trying Fade from History for a couple days. Would have smoked their whole plan, kind of. However, we do need 6, 7. Okay, I can play Tyrranax Rex after searching for it. Do I like that? I like that. Let's do it. A lot of lovely aggression. A lot of things have to block to live. Probably our best bet at the moment. Take out the Hatcher plus the egg. Not too bad. Do one more point of damage to the opponent, but they're going to play their own T-Rex. Absolutely ruthless aggression. There was no way I was going to avoid the opponent getting my own T-Rex next turn. Ghalta would have done nothing. I couldn't have played Ghalta. Simply grab and play the biggest, best, scariest thing I could in that moment. Probably had to be T-Rex. But that T-Rex is coming down. 3. I'm just surprised they didn't play it the previous turn. I would have played it. Okay. You do what you gotta do. And I do want to trade with it. It would be funny to take out T-Rex with the Archdruids. Certainly not going to be the case. We'll see what's on top with. We don't have a commercial district. I think he probably wins. Yeah. Ooh. We're not punching through that. It was just T-Rex trades with T-Rex. And Regisaur Alpha, not so hot. Not so hot. Yeah. I certainly had a good time with that one. But that is just one game. Tear Asunder, I would say so. And also, that's a very lovely thing. Again, I forgot to mention, with Hauntwood, Overlord of the Hauntwoods, making that everywhere land taps for a mana of any color. It's all the land types. This could be my source of black for a kicked Tear Asunder to exile any non-land permanent. So that has extra benefit for the splashing potential. If I have to hard cast a Leyline, usually if you have to, it's already over by that point. Anyways, you want to see it in your opening hand, of course. But it goes with what I was saying. Well, I should say it. Overlord, opening up the splashing potential. But what do I want to get rid of? T-Rex, possibly. Mostly because Leyline could take it out pretty easily, cast it for 1, total of 5. Carnage can never get targeted, which is very, very nice indeed. Maybe I don't even bother with Tear Asunder. You know what? Yeah. No Tear Asunder. Let's tear their hopes apart. Yeah, we'll get... Oh, not with that. A little bit better. Okay. Got to keep something at some point. Yeah. Oh, only return 2 cards. Okay, that's good. All right, one land. I asked for 1 land. Get that Sylvan. Ooh, technically we got 1 land with Commune. Sunken. Ooh, got to be a forest. Maintain all sources of green, or at least for the first 3 lands, be green sources for that Archdruid's Charm. And hope they don't have too many counter spells. Or any. It's looking good. We got our 3 green for Archdruids. Search for and put the second Sunken into play. Pretty quickly we're making 7, possibly 8. We'll see. Oh boy. Hopefully it's not a Thoughtseize or some interesting thing. I could possibly respond to an Unmoored Ego. Maybe with that Archdruids. Oh, okay, now that is interesting. Overlords. You know what, Commune? Let's find a... I was hoping... Sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. I was hoping that Commune would find the land to play it, then play Overlords to really get ahead, but that was painful. Let's hope it's not Unmoored Ego, but it could be. At the very least, I do have a Carnage and Sunken down. Good, just Tybalt. That's fine. Fine-ish. Fortunately, we got that Stomping Ground. You know what? We're setting up for Ghalta next turn. Archdruids, Sunken. Get to 8. Let's get to 8. At least they can't play Ghalta right now. That's good. I mean, they could have a counterspell in their hand. Painfully missing that Cavern of Souls that we saw at the start of this match. Okay, they got 4. Here goes nothing. Don't have a counterspell. Don't have the get lost. Hopefully their chances get lost. I think there's a pretty good chance they don't have a counterspell. I just hope I draw some creature. Oh, well, that's not a creature, but might as well be Commercial District. I like a Palani's Hatcher. Set up for hopefully the future. Cross your fingers, cross your claws. Oh, good. Survive, hopefully. Hopefully we get them. I think we have a reasonable chance. Tyrranax Rex, smoke them, pretty good. 2, and another. But I'm certainly gonna... Don't want to take them. Yeah, take them out. Close-ish. Try to. The Tyrranax Rex would have been the only thing that hit him. And they wouldn't have even been super duper close to death. A decent bit closer, but certainly feels a little bit safer targeting Tybalt. If they swept, if they tapped out, that would be pretty nice. could possibly play Palani's Hatcher, take out Tybalt with the Dinosaur token. Again, if they were tapped out, because Leyline Binding could take out that token and continue to save Tybalt there. Okay, the Vaultborn, reasonable. Definitely. But it seems like an interesting... maybe do they not have... oh, 2 Leyline Bindings. Huh. That is interesting. I mean, I have another T-Rex. I'm feeling pretty good still. Oh, removal for... okay. Night of Autumn. Interesting. That's very interesting. They got to discard a whole lot of stuff. Yeah. I think it's pretty straightforward. Just play the T-Rexes and send everything towards them and hope for the best. Oh boy. I could see them possibly, playing Ghalta. 6, 7. Play Ghalta, play every other creature that they have in their hand, which might not be lethal, but would be deadly. I just wish I had that Ghalta, because I think I would have had it in my hand with the exiling off the top. Play Palani's, Vaultborn. Very nice indeed. At least it does look like they might be in a hard position. But I just wish I had... oh, hey, whoa.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
You gotta talk to him. Yeah, go ahead, come on, we'll give you a table.
Okay. Pretty good stuff. Now, question becomes, do I need Overlord of the Hauntwoods? Maybe in most cases when I'm facing off against a mid-rangey, a little bit slower deck. I don't need these. Certainly nice to have that extra mana though. Top deck an Archdruids, spend 3 for Archdruids and still have enough for the T-Rex because of the Overlord. But again, I got to admit that the enchantment removal, exile. Get back to Vaultborn with the Leyline Binding at the end of their turn. You know they're going to have a Leyline Binding. More Leyline Bindings. Right. 3 Tear Asunders it is. Oh boy. They have many enchantments, but Leyline Binding being the big one. And they possibly could temporarily... Oh, never mind. I don't need Overlord of the... Hauntwoods. Oh, and oh my. 1 more land to make 7. Turn 5, but of course, hopefully, turn 4. And they're in a pickle. I was going to say, hey, Sylvan Scrying, that would be lovely. Which we'll try for here. They could have a counterspell for 2, but they probably don't have a counterspell for 1. So, take advantage of this opportunity. Probably was just going to be Sylvan Caryatid this turn. Or the Cornucopia. The life gain from Cornucopia is never a fun thing. Fortunately, hey, look. Get a Cavern. If they do have a counterspell. Of course, we'll play T-Rex next turn and the hope to make the magic happen. Eventually, we could see Ghalta. Poof. Everything goes right out the window. All their hopes and dreams and... ooh. Can't count. Well, they could make me sacrifice it. But they probably don't have that. They have to sweep next turn. They have to do something absolutely amazing. They're already down to 8. That's not great. There is no debate. Archdruids could take out some big creature that they have. I could top deck Ghalta for the win. That's okay. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. But that was pretty good. They sweep again. Play Palani's or Regisaur. Dino token. Boom. Dead. Exactly lethal.
I'm the best there is at what I do, but what I do isn't very nice.
Oh, this is like the nightcap of nightcaps. Exactly on the dot. 1 hour. Dino power. Can't beat it. Of course, I wish I was in Mythic. You would kind of hope after playing 70 matches over 2 days. This is now like 70, 75, 80. I might have lost count. Let's say 80 matches. It was at least 75. But you would hope you could at least be in Mythic by that point. However, every month is going to be different. You'll get to Mythic in 100 matches. But then the next one you might get into Mythic in 250. You might have an unfortunate string of events. You get so close. Diamond 1. Boom. And you start to face a bunch of mono red aggro, tumbling down the ranked ladder. And you just don't get there. Yeah. You could face mono red aggro when you don't have that lost protection. Whenever you get to Diamond 3, and then you get to Diamond 2, the one win that gets you to Diamond 2. If you lose the very next one, you don't drop below to Diamond 3. It's like that loss didn't exist, but you could win and go higher. So let's say you face mono red aggro when you have that one loss protection match. Yeah, it's as if you didn't lose to aggro because you didn't go down. It's kind of nice, but you could face aggro in those instances, which would certainly inflate your rise and make you climb up faster. Or whatever deck is rough against you, you happen to face it in those times or not much at all. Maybe not for an entire day. Maybe out of 45 matches, not one aggro. Whew, thumbs up. That would be pretty good. Almost as good as tonight was. So yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to take a big bite out of that like button. Hopefully you had a good Easter. Hopefully traffic is not too bad tomorrow. I don't imagine it's going to be bad for anybody. If you have to work, if you have it off, hopefully that's good. Yeah, have a good rest of your time zone. Get some good rest. And as always, peace. See you next time.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?